Today we're going to be talking about the comma splice, which is a serious punctuation error that you'll want to learn to avoid. A comma splice is an error made when two complete sentences are incorrectly joined by a comma. Here's an example. We have two complete sentences. Jamal thinks we should go to the shoe store first. You'll notice it's a complete sentence by the fact that it begins with a capital letter, it ends with a period, it has a subject, Jamal, it has a verb, thinks, and it expresses a complete idea. Those are the qualifications for a complete sentence. The second sentence is likewise a complete sentence. I think we should go get lunch before we start shopping. But here's what happens. Sometimes when students are writing sentences like these two that are very closely related, they make the comma splice error. And that occurs if we punctuate these two complete sentences as one using only a comma to join them. You'll see that I've used a strike through so that you don't think that this is a correct sentence. What's incorrect about it is that it's written as though it's one sentence, a compound sentence, but it's punctuated incorrectly for that. A comma just is not a strong enough punctuation mark to hold together two complete sentences or independent clauses. So here's what we have to do instead. The first thing we might do is just keep the sentences separate, end each with a period, just like they were when you first saw them. The second solution would be to use a semicolon to join the two sentences. A semicolon, it looks like a period and a comma together. And I guess you can think of it that way because that little period part really strengthens the comma enough to be able to hold two complete sentences together, two independent clauses. So you can use a semicolon. Only use semicolons occasionally. A lot of times when students learn to use the semicolon, they tend to overuse it. So make sure that when you're joining sentences, you have a good reason to want to join them. They should be very closely related. You can also use a comma plus a coordinating conjunction to join the two sentences. You probably remember the coordinating conjunctions by the acronym FANBOYS: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. And you select them based on the meaning that you want to achieve. And I really like how this one turns out. But you'll notice there's a comma and a conjunction here. Jamal thinks we should go to the shoe store first, comma, but I think we should go get lunch before we start shopping. I like the but in there because that tells you I'm taking exception to what Jamal wants. So it kind of adds meaning to the sentence. And then the final suggestion for not having comma splices is to use a subordinating conjunction to join the two sentences instead. And you can Google what the subordinating conjunctions are. They make perfectly good sense. You've still got these two independent clauses. Jamal thinks we should go to the shoe store first, but then we insert this little word while. While I think we should go get lunch before we start shopping. Again, the selection of that subordinating conjunction actually adds some meaning to the sentence because it's like we're having these parallel ideas. Jamal and I are thinking at the same time about what we should do first. And so that, one thing is happening while the other thing is happening. And I like that one too. My favorite, though, is number 3. Use your judgment about which way to correct these, but do, for goodness sake, correct them. These are serious errors.